Hello, yes, it's me. Before anybody asks, I'm not stopping to make videos and upload them, but I am saying goodbye to someone else. Also, I know they may just take my opinion in this video for a grain of salt, but I felt like I wanted to say it anyway. On August 9th, 2023, I switched schools. I had been at my previous one for many years, and I had a lot of friends there. However, as time progressed, it turned more into a business than a school. They cared about the dress code rather than your education. For example, your hair would be a centimeter too long and they'd scream at you for violating the dress code. This led my parents and I to decide that it would be best if I went somewhere else. After extensive research, searching the dark web, and paying the homeless guy in the alleyway for information, we finally settled on a good school, so I transferred there instead. I only recognized one person who was a previous classmate and friend and had switched here as well before me. Other than him, I knew nobody else. I spent the first couple of weeks of school eating lunch on the loser's bench, as you'd expect a new kid to. People had no idea who I was and kind of just looked down on me. Everyone had their little friend groups, but eventually I befriended this guy who looks like Ed Sheeran, but that's beside the point. I was taking a variety of classes, and still to this day, physics is my favorite class overall. Most of the people there are nice, and the teacher is funny. For instance, you raise your hand and he's like, "Hey, why are you crying?" Or he asks, "You alright there, bud?" You reply, "Yes," and he says, "Dang, no need to get violent." It's enjoyable overall, as the teacher makes it that way. Subjects itself is not my favorite by a long shot, but I do enjoy it. This is weird talking about school stuff with a funny pew-pew game in the background, but who cares? I was also taking a CAD class. For those of you who don't know what that is, it stands for Computer Aided Design. Basically, 3D printing, laser cutting, using a heat press, etc. I befriended another random guy in that class, whose name I won't state for legal reasons, but he invited me to his table one day. There were 3 guys at the table, including him, and I upgraded from the loser's bench. I had technically gone to another table before, but some of the guys there were pretty rude, so I downgraded myself back down to the bench. I'll just say flat out, they're cool and nice and stuff. It's pretty chill overall at the new table. We now have random people sitting there sometimes, but it's okay, because we don't mind. We also have a weird tradition to watch Darman every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday just to silently judge their acting. But anyway, back to physics. The way my teacher would do the seating is by putting the names of everyone in the class into a random group creator, or generator, and he would shuffle the groups. We got 1 veto if the majority of the class vetoed it, and then he would shuffle again, and that was final for the triad. If you don't know what a triad is, basically it's a semester broken up into 3 parts, hence tricycle, 3 wheels, triceratops, 3 horns, whatever. There was a mix of students in the class, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, the works. Many of the seniors didn't talk to me, but there is this one specific one who would talk to me. Again, I will not state the name for legal reasons. I know I'm saying legal reasons, it sounds like I'm part of a crime syndicate or something, but I will describe them briefly. They had purple hair and drove an orange Subaru. If you're watching this, you know it's you. It is pretty embarrassing to talk about this, especially being a random faceless child playing weird video games and then doing stupid things and mashing it together into a video and uploading it to a multi-billion-dollar website, but who cares? We'll be honest though, I looked up to you, and I still do. I'll also admit I'm going to miss you next year since you graduating. You've been nice to me, such as encouraging me before a quiz, saying you believed in me when nobody else would, talking to me about Star Wars, Mandalorian, and things like that. On a side note, still watch The Bad Batch, it's worth it. That's why I chose Battlefront 2 to be in the background, because of Star Wars. Anyway. I just figured I'd say thank you for making this year not be so bad, for accepting me into your group for labs and things. Made my time here so far that much better due to your kindness to me, and I'm eternally grateful for that. It'd be kind of weird for me to say let's stay in touch since you're older than me, and I get that not many people would want to do that or even consider it. But if you're watching this, just know I'm thankful, and I wish you the best in your college endeavors. Also, this next part isn't scripted because everything else is scripted, or else I just fumble harder than my relationships. But I just want to say, I know it may be a little weird. Like, you may not think that you really did that much, but in reality, in my eyes, you did. And so, even if you're thinking to yourself right now, like, what the heck is this kid talking about? Then, at least for me, then that's what you did for me. So thank you for that again. To finish this off, I will just include a funny little anecdote from physics. So we had our winter final last semester, and it was to make a potential energy car. So this is a car that when you drop a weight, it will move. Basically, that's literally all it is. My partner was going to take it home and build it, and it didn't really turn out too well since he did it wrong. I then had to salvage as much as I could. Next day I walk into class, and it is the day that it was due. Yay! We had 2 hours for the final, but since this wasn't an exam but a project, then the grading was different. We had to build a car that could stand by itself and had all the requirements, so weight, tires, frame, etc., and even just that was 50%. Oh, excuse me. We then had to make it drive 4 meters without pushing it. Each meter would be 12.5% added to the 50%. So if you got all 4 meters, you got an A+. You could also get 1 extra credit point for every tire you take off. So you start with 4. So that means if you had 3 tires, you'd get 1 extra credit point. If you somehow managed to put only 1 tire on there and make it unicycle, then you would get 3 extra points. I walked into class that day knowing I had to clutch up and hard. I got a classmate to help me build. He wasn't my partner. My partner's in a different period, but whatever. We were speed running faster than the Germans in World War I, trying to take over France and turn back to Russia to not fight a war on 2 fronts using the Schlieffen Plan. Sorry, I just had to throw that little history lesson in there. To make a long story short, I don't have Infinite Battlefront 2 footage, so I'm not going to keep ranting on and on about this. But eventually we were able to make it. Dang, I just fumbled there. Rip. But barely. I went over 3 meters, resulting in an 87% on the final. It's not an A, but I'll take it. It's better than a C- that I can say. But over the course of my test runs and building, there's that one senior cheering me on. Anyway, I appreciate you listening to me rant about seniors in physics while having a weird space game in the background. And also sorry for not uploading last week. I had school stuff, but yeah, thanks for watching. And hopefully I can catch you on the next one. And to the senior watching this, also thank you to you, because all the previous reasons I have stated. Yeah, have a good day, everybody. Don't die, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Our tactics are succeeding. Keep it up.